Here's a good one. Paris versus New York.
Okay, it's good for me. Paris and New York, I need both in my life. I really realized that I needed the excitement and energy of New York, while at the same time I need to, sit down and have lunch and have the poetry of Paris, of thinking again and again and again and remaking the world with my friends. It's the balance of the two, of the one that I can feel like I can achieve anything, and Paris resting is the balance for me. Okay, so latest buy.
The most awesome purchase I've had yet of this year is my Coco Neige ski pants. They are fab. They are so fab. I wore them to Aspen on a ski trip, and I just thought it might just look cool, but it actually kept me really warm, and everyone was obsessed with it, and I was like, yeah, I know.
But the new fall-winter collection has so many cool snow stuff as well.
And it's very you too, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's lots of long coats.
Long coats, long trousers.
Like easy silhouettes.
Capes. Can you tell me a memory, like a souvenir that you have of Cal or Chanel?
Besides the ones that I've spoken about publicly, the other favorite one is when I first got to shoot with him and I arrived on set, and Carl, you know how he is, he works through the night and then sleeps in a little bit and then does about 10 different projects before he comes on set.
I know.
So your call time will be, as a model,
2,
3, very easy. His call time will be like
9.
7 if you're lucky. So, there's always a lot of time, but it never stopped fascinating me how voracious he was about taking in just any and every kind of information and people. He was always interested to know about everyone, I think.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and he would get inspirations from everyone and anywhere.
And that would make it inspiring.
Yeah.
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 Because it's Cal is like an amazing book or an amazing movie. When you come out of a movie or a book and you're so excited to to go and learn more and create and stuff. And that's always how I feel when I would come out of a meeting with Cal.
Yeah. He just makes you think a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Pushes you to be better.
What about you?
A souvenir? I met Cal 22 years ago when I was a model. So I have so many as well, but I stopped in between, and then he asked me to come back into the fashion world like 7 years ago. I have a great souvenir of when I was not in fashion anymore, and I had this radio track. I would interview people about music, and Cal came in my shitty track. And I interviewed him, and we talked for, a good hour about music and everything, and it was so amazing and so cool. And he was telling me about his mother and everything, and I don't know. It's a great souvenir.
Yeah. He always had a great sense of humor as well.
Oh yeah.
Great sense of humor.
So what about your style? I mean, how did you get to your style, and what kind of lesson it would be to teach other people or youngsters or whatever of how you find your style?
This is always the trickiest question for me because I don't know how to describe it. So I just say it's eclectic and adventurous. And I think that comes from me being that kind of a person, like that's my personality. I like having fun, I like taking risks. I'm always a why not person. You know?
And I think you're also a mix of cultures.
Yeah.
That makes it all fun and different and
Yeah.
And it's like a bubble of champagne. When I see you, it's like.
Oh.
No, but you know what I mean. It's
Thank
sparkling.
you.
It's I think it's because you're curious, and it comes from a bit of everywhere, and
Yeah.
I think you're aware, and it's a great lesson for
Yeah.
kids, I think.
If I were to tell someone younger, like, you know, I came from a very normal, very down the middle kind of family, and we had no creative people in our family. My parents were middle class. I grew up in the suburbs, but that made me more hungry to, you know, explore and try to travel and pursue things that like were kind of out of the norm.
Yeah, and I think taking a risk as well is like
Yeah.
you're not scared to fail. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's
Yeah,
not a big deal. At least
exactly.
you're trying, and at least you're gonna be different. It's more fun to me
Yeah.
than just do nothing.
Also, when you don't take risks, like, and you don't fail, like you don't realize how good you have it. So now I realize, like,
And nothing can happen in
my
your
life is great. Not every time, not every day, but like I think about it and I'm like, well, you know, all the things that happened to me before has led me to who I am and what my style is.
Yeah.
So, you know, embrace the situation and the now, and then move forward, I guess. What about you?
I found my style by mistake. I was going to university, it was the day before I was going to university, and I hated my butt, and I was obsessed by my butt. And so I had to find a way of hiding it, and I went into my brother's closet.
Because your butt was too big or too small?
Too big to my eyes.
Which is something I wish I had. Anyway, continue.
Well, and so I went into my brother's closet, and you know, I searched for pants, and I found a cool pair of trousers, and I put them on, and I put them really high. You know, it was a big belt, and I was thinking of Katharine Hepburn, this Hollywood actress,
Yeah.
who was very empowering in the way she was wearing kind of men clothes, but in a very sexy way. So I put a white shirt as well.
Style too, yeah.
You know, and so I just got inspired by those movies that I used to watch a lot when I was a kid. And I went to university that day, and everyone was like, "Wow, you're so stylish!" And it's the first time I had heard that word, and I understood it was the step more than just being dressed nice. It's like I found, by mistake, by wanting to hide something I didn't like about myself, I found something that fit me and fit my personality.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was. Once again, it's taking risk and trying things.
Yeah, yeah.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Suju.